Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first interactive live session. Today's lesson is going to be on place value whole numbers and also place value with the decimal place value. So last week, you guys received this page. You also received an anchor chart in Schoology. And so today is going to be a quick review of place value whole numbers, and we'll move into decimals. The first things first, we need to know what is place value. Okay, place value is how much a digit is worth based on its position. Now, if you continue looking down, you guys will notice that we have vocabulary. This is vocabulary that we've seen for quite some time. We see words like value, we see expanded notation, we see billions, digits, standard form, word from, we see all these things. One of the things I want you guys to pay very close attention to is right here in this chart. Okay, if we take a look at this chart, there's a few things that we see. We see ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, and then billions. Each of these is separated by what is called a period. Okay, and if you want to figure out where your periods are, they're always separated by a comma. So if I take this number here, okay, and we'll change this number up. Let's make it 200 or 367,428,903. Okay, each of these represents what's called a period. This period is called the ones period. Here will be the thousands period. And over here in the front would be a millions period. So when I read this number, I know that I'm going to have to read this as 367 million because all of these digits are inside of the millions period. If I take a look here, I see the number 428. When I read this number, I'm going to have to read it by thousands because it's in the thousands period. 428,000. Now, the only one where we don't have a name at the end will be our ones period. So when we read this one, we just read it as 903. Okay. Now, there are several ways that we can write a number. The first way it's going to be standard form. Okay, so let's take a look at the number 3,847. Okay, we're going to write this number now in word form. And in word form, all it means is that we have to take this number and write it into words. So this would be 3,000. I'm going to put a comma there so we don't forget that that separates our period. 847. Okay, an expanded form. So when we write in an expanded form, what we'll do is we're going to break this number apart or decompose this number by each of its digits and how much it's worth. So if we take a look at the very first digit, we have a 3. That 3 is representative of the number 3,000. Plus, we also have the next digit, which is an 8, and it represents 800. Next, we have a 4, which represents 40. Lastly, we have a 7, okay, which just represents 7 ones. In expanded notation, this is where we're going to show that multiplication step. So we're going to multiply each of our digits times its actual value. So let's start with the very first digit we have, which is 3. And we're going to multiply that times its place value position. Well, the 3 is in the thousands place, so we're going to multiply it times 1,000. Next would be the 8. It's in the hundreds place, so we're going to multiply that times 100. Next, we have our 4, and we're going to multiply that times 10 because it's in our tens place.